The US wants to do business in Africa. That was the message from members of the Obama administration out in force at a top Washington hotel on Tuesday to mingle with CEOs and business leaders from across the continent. From the African point of view, it's a chance to change American perceptions.
I believe on this side of the Atlantic, there are still many people in the business world who have an image of Africa of 30 years ago, of 20 years ago, even of 10 years ago. It is not their fault. And our role here is to articulate to them, to make a case that, wait a minute, in Africa there are problems, like there are in Asia, in the Caribbean, in Latin America, but now there are also opportunities.
The day ended with the president himself highlighting the many US firms taking advantage of those opportunities.
All told, American companies, many with our trade assistance, are announcing new deals in clean energy, aviation, banking, and construction worth more than $14 billion.
The head of one of those companies says this summit isn't, as some have claimed, just a way for the US to try and catch up with China, Japan and Europe, all of whom have already held similar events.
I wouldn't say we're late. I think we're in the process of, we're right at the peak of where it's really going to take off. South Africa has been the model of development for Africa, and I think other countries are going to continue to see that same kind of growth.
But South Africa's very growth in industries like this one, motor cars, could in fact mean it loses out when it comes to the renewal of the African Growth and Opportunity Act next year, since there's now talk in Washington of excluding South Africa from participating countries.
If you look at Canada and the European Union, both have in recent years revised their preference programs, their GSP programs, to graduate a number of emerging economies. We've not yet done that, and I think we just need to take that into account.
But the Trade and Industry Minister is upbeat, saying the feeling he's been getting from administration officials is positive.
Our message has been, we don't think the Africa Growth and Opportunity Act's broken, and therefore there's no need to fix it. And I think that appears to be the consensus position between the administration. We said that graduating South Africa out would be to take Africa out of the regional integration and put it in a category on its own.
And it's a message reinforced by South Africa's president, who says the timing of the summit was perfect.
It came at an opportune moment when, as you know, AGOA, which has been the kind of very clear instrument for our relationship, is left with 1 year to elapse. And we are saying we have an opportunity to deal with those issues, to put our views.
There's a great deal of energy and enthusiasm among political leaders and CEOs here at the US-Africa Business Forum for increasing US investment in Africa. But the future of one of America's key pieces of trade legislation with the continent, AGOA, rests on the whims of a fractious and divided Congress, something that President Obama, for all his desire to leave a legacy on the continent, has little power to change. Lorna Shaddick at the US-Africa Business Forum in Washington.
You deserve to know more.
eNCA.com